Picture this. It's the year 117 AD. 5,000 Roman soldiers, making up the feared and highly decorated Ninth Legion, march steadily north into this thick, blinding Scottish fog. And they are literally never seen again. Now, that incredible historical mystery, it was actually just turned into a stunning, highly engaging documentary. But here is the absolute catch. There was no camera used to make it. 0 actors were hired. There wasn't some massive studio set. Welcome to this explainer. Today we're going to unpack exactly how that was done. My goal right now is to teach you this exact step-by-step workflow so you can completely replicate it yourself.
So if you're a total beginner wanting to start a channel from zero, I know exactly what's probably running through your head. You're telling yourself, I don't have the technical skills, or I don't know the first thing about editing. Or maybe you're just worried you don't have the massive budget required to buy all that expensive gear. Well, I want you to completely let go of that beginner anxiety right now. A lack of skills or budget will absolutely not stop you. Why? Because you are no longer a struggling creator. You're about to step into the role of a studio executive. And instead of hiring expensive humans, you're going to hire a team of completely free AI tools to do all the heavy lifting for you. Okay, let's dive into this. No camera, no face, $0 spent. This isn't just some fun weekend experiment. This exact workflow is quietly powering some of the absolute fastest growing channels out there right now. We're talking channels that are consistently making 4 to 5 figures a month entirely from AdSense revenue. It's a completely faceless model, and we're going to break down the exact mechanics of how you build one today.
Here is our workflow for today. 1. Ideation. 2. Scripting. 3. Visuals. 4. Voiceover. And finally, 5. Assembly. All right, let's look at the AI tool roster and hiring your free digital production team. Think of this phase as your required checklist of digital employees, right? We really need to assemble the team before we can start production. So here is your complete crew. We have Google's NotebookLM for ideation, Claude for scripting, NanoBanana and Google Flow for generating our visuals, ElevenLabs for an authoritative voice, and finally, CapCut for editing. What I really want you to take away from this is that these specific tools are literally the only things you need. If you follow this exact structure, we are going to go from absolutely 0 ideas to a finished, high-quality documentary in under an hour. And we'll be completely automating the entire creation process without swiping your credit card even once. Moving right along to step 1, ideation. Finding proven ideas. Now, a fundamental truth that most beginners get totally wrong is thinking they need to invent a brand new idea from scratch. But here's the thing. A wild guess is usually just a recipe for failure. What you actually need is the viral blueprint. The absolute fastest way to grow in a competitive space is to study what is already working. So here's how you do it as a beginner. You go to YouTube and you find 4 or 5 viral video links in your specific niche. Let's say World War II mysteries. You copy those links and paste them directly into Google's NotebookLM. In under 2 minutes, this brilliant tool reads every single transcript, analyzes every hook, and extracts the core structural DNA of those videos. It literally hands you the exact formula, keeping millions of viewers engaged. So yeah, no more guessing.
Next up is step 2, scripting, writing the story.
So we have our structural blueprint from step 1, right? But that alone won't keep people watching. We need a compelling story. So we're going to hand that structural DNA over to our digital writer. The process here is remarkably simple. You feed the NotebookLM blueprint straight into Claude. You literally just paste that entire analysis into Claude.ai and ask it to generate a storytelling script based on that precise structure. In about 30 seconds, Claude will write out a really natural-sounding, deeply engaging script, complete with the strong hooks, the cliffhangers, and the emotional moments that flawlessly mirror those proven viral videos. After that, all you do is read through it, tweak any lines that feel a bit off to you, and just save the final version to a notepad. Which brings us to step 3, visuals, mastering character consistency. Now we need to bring that notepad story to life. Back inside Claude, you'll ask it to break the new script down into a scene-by-scene visual prompt list, perfectly formatted for a 16:9 aspect ratio, which of course is the standard for YouTube. Now pay attention because this next trick is the master key. It's the exact technique that separates massive amateur channels from highly profitable professional ones, and that is character consistency. Here's exactly how you do it. First, you take your first visual prompt from Claude and generate a master reference image in Google Flow. Then, you click the 3 dots on that newly generated image. Step 3, select Add to Prompt. This right here is where the magic happens. When you type in the prompt for your next scene, the AI uses that master image as a reference to keep the exact same character, the same lighting, and the exact same visual style.
You simply repeat this trick for every single scene. Once you have your beautifully consistent still images, well, it's time to make them move. You simply take those images and drag them right into Google Flow's VO 3.1 tab, give it a basic animation prompt, and in about 30 seconds, it hands you incredibly smooth 8-second cinematic clips. I mean, these clips look expensive. They look like a real documentary production, and they cost you absolutely $0 to create. All right, step 4, voiceover creation, giving the video its soul. Beautiful visuals are fantastic, for sure, but without a strong, commanding voice, a documentary feels totally empty. We really need to anchor the story and give this project a trustworthy, human feel. As a total beginner, you just go and sign up at ElevenLabs.io. Their free plan gives you 10,000 characters every single month, which is honestly plenty to get your first few videos off the ground. Then you select a deep, calm voice. I highly recommend searching for voices named Knox Stark or Anthony for that serious, authoritative documentary tone. Just paste your script from your notepad, click Generate Speech, and in about 20 seconds, your professional voiceover is ready to download as an MP3.
And finally, step 5, assembly, putting it all together.
Now we take all these automated puzzle pieces and bring them into CapCut, which is an amazing free editing tool that works smoothly on virtually any computer. The actions are straightforward. First, you drop your voiceover track in, then you drag your visual clips in order. The secret here is syncing the visual clips exactly to the voice. So for example, if the script says the word battlefield, make sure the battlefield clip starts playing at that exact moment. Next, add cinematic black fade transitions between every clip to maintain a serious tone. Now remember, those free video clips come with a tiny watermark in the corner. Don't worry, simply select your clips and zoom in just slightly to seamlessly crop it out of the frame. Finally, use CapCut's auto captions feature to put the words on screen and make sure to highlight keywords in a different color to keep the viewer's eyes completely locked. When you're balancing your audio, the magic number to remember is 20%. When you download a free cinematic documentary background track from a site like Pixabay, you just drop it onto your CapCut timeline and set the volume level exactly to 20. It provides the absolute perfect emotional undertone without ever overpowering or distracting from your authoritative ElevenLabs voiceover. All right, we've reached the final technical step. In your editor, you just need to export your project at 1080p and 30 frames per second. Once you dial in these specific settings and click that export button, your full, highly produced documentary is completely finished and fully ready to be uploaded to your new channel. So, to recap, 6 free tools and 1 full documentary video in under an hour. Executing this simple step-by-step pipeline absolutely eliminates all the traditional barriers to entry that usually stop beginners right in their tracks. No cameras, no actors, no massive budgets, just structured, guided AI tools seamlessly working together. Which leaves us with one final incredibly important thought. What is actually stopping you from starting today? You now have the exact list of tools, you understand the master key for consistent visuals, and you have the complete workflow from start to finish. So pick your niche, open NotebookLM right now, and go build your first automated channel this week. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what you create.